creative. Try that again. Hello, creative friends. It's Sue. I'm back with another video, and I thought I'd share in this video some things that I just recently got, specifically as Christmas gifts. And we're going to show you some of the different molds and talk about what I've done so far, and we'll get into it in just a second. I just want to start by saying welcome to everyone who's a new viewer. Welcome back to all of my subscribed viewers. If you've been watching my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, I would greatly appreciate a subscription. It does help my channel grow. It is free. Click the like if you like this video. It shows me that you'd like other ones of the similar content. And with that, let's get into it. So for Christmas, I did receive 3 different sets of molds. I have received a set of molds that are coasters. As always, I will put the links to all of these items down in the description box. But I did get 2 sets of coasters. I have 1 set of coasters already filled and waiting to be demolded. So at the end of the video, I will show that. But these are round ones. The other ones are square. So this is the mold. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coasters. There's also the coaster holder. So this is the mold for that. It's very nice. They feel like excellent quality molds. They're very soft and squishy, so I'm a fan. I did receive these. I also received this really cool crescent moon mold, and it's a tea light holder or battery plug-in light if you wanted to do it like that. But basically, it's the mold like this. This is the crescent moon. It would sit like that, flat on the surface. You, of course, fill it upside down. This little container is the mold for the, or not the mold, excuse me. I keep forgetting about this. This goes inside and takes up the space, and it fits, it slots right into. You're not going to be able to see that. I don't know how to show it, but it slots right in there, like it doesn't move around once I put it in. It's got a little groove that it sits inside, and when you fill it up, it'll fill the entire mold, and it won't fill this part, so that when you demold it, you have that concave area to put your tea light in. Really cool mold. I can't wait to use it. I'm really excited about this one. I have not yet used it. Again, the same kind of quality. It's very soft, very squishy. It's going to be easy, I think, to demold it. So excited to use that. And what I want to specifically show you today are these cute little molds. These came from Amazon as well. They are very, very, very flexible, as you can see. They are tarot cards. So let me see if I can bring you down a little closer so you can see that. There you go. So these are tarot cards. And you see in here that there are little indents that look like little stars. So when I first got these molds, I was a little confused about what to do with them because they come with this little pack of rhinestones, and I thought they were super cute. And I wasn't really sure how to use these, how to go about making them, where the rhinestones went. Some of you out there probably already like, Sue, you know, this is super easy. You shouldn't have to figure this out. But these were new to me, and I had never used them before. So I decided this morning to get them out and play around with them because I had to fill my other molds up. So I said, well, let me figure out how these work. And I'm going to show you something. For those of you who have never seen a mold like this before and are equally as confused as I am so sorry for the crinkling. I'm trying to get one of these gems out of here and they just don't want to come out. All right, so I got a whole bunch of them. So this is what the little gems look like. See if I can get one on my finger. So that's what they look like. They're super sparkly, probably just glass, of course. They do have a pointed end, and I'm not going to be able to show that very well. But they do have a pointed end and a flat end. See, you can see the point just barely right there. Yep, okay. So they have a flat side and then the pointed side like you would see typically in gemstones. And I kept looking at this mold and kept looking at it and thought, what am I missing? Because if I put the gemstone in here and pour the resin on, it's going to be lost because it's not going to look like a gemstone anymore. I can't put it in after the fact because this is not a hole that you can fill up and then take something out. So I thought, what am I missing? Well, this is what I'm missing. I did one this morning and I'm hoping, let me see if I can get you down a little closer so you can really see this. All right, so if you can see, the gemstone or the little rhinestone glass thing is already in there. You can see the glistening of it. That is not resin. That's the rhinestone. And what you have to do is open that up, and there are little silicone prongs right here. Let me see if, oops, I'm so sorry, I hit the camera. If you can see right here, oh, these tweezers, they're terrible. There's a little prong right here. That little squishy guy right there that I'm moving with my tweezers. I've got mica powder everywhere. But anyway, come on, camera, focus. Do your job there. Anyway, the rhinestone goes in there, and it goes in with the pointy side up towards you and the flat side down. So I'm going to try to demonstrate, and this is so small that it's going to be really, really difficult for me to show you, but I'm going to try. So I have the pointy side up. Now it just flipped over, so now the flat side is facing me. So I'm going to take my nasty tweezers here and try to flip this guy over. I did it with my fingers this morning, but it's not the easiest thing to do. I did not flip it over at all. So let me see if I can get it. It's very hard to do with the camera up this close because I can't get in close to see it like I would normally do. Come on. All right, hold on. Let me do this off to the side and flip it over, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I flipped this over, and if you can see the light catching it right there, that's the pointy side up. And what you need to do is you need to keep that pointy side up and push this in under those prongs. Just like that. And those little prongs, I'm going to check it, double check it with my glasses on here because I can't see. The little prongs I was just showing you actually hold the stone down under the prongs to keep it from floating up, to keep the pointy end up. And keep it secure. So now I have two of those in there. So those are wicked cute. What an ingenious idea. I am in awe about this because I never knew such a thing existed. So every day I learn. And I am really close to my camera, so if it sounds like I'm shouting at you, it's not intentional. It's just that I'm really close so I can see what I'm doing. But I am in awe. So what I'm going to do off camera is go ahead and put the rest of those little rhinestones in each one of these little cavities. Or actually, I might just do two to start with, just to get the feel for them, because I have resin mixed up, but I don't want it to start solidifying. But I might be safe. So I'm going to do these off camera. Anyway, enough babbling, and then I will return and we'll fill these up, and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned. Okay, so I have finished filling in the little gemstones on all of these, and I'm not going to lie, it took me a hot second to do it. It's definitely very fiddly, and I'm sorry, I've got to adjust my camera here a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Definitely a little bit fiddly, but I think it's going to be really worth it. I did discover that there are 13, or wait a minute, there's one more stone that came in my set than you actually need. So if you think you're at all going to potentially drop them or lose them, really put them someplace safe so that you don't, because I think you're only going to have like one extra. But I do have the extra one, and I'm going to measure that afterwards, or at least go online to the shop that sold this mold and see if I can figure out what size gems those are, because of course you'd love to make this mold more than once, but you only have enough gems to do it the one time. So I am going to go and find out what those were, and I'll put it down below in my description box so you guys have access to it. So right now I'm using some purple mica powder. This is my Rolio mica powder that I use quite often. I have other videos where I discover, talk about this. This is called Purple Heart. I will link to that video. I'm just going to mix my resin up with this purple mica in it, and I'm going to make them all the same color. That's what the original that's what the listing on Amazon. I told you guys I cannot think and talk, or cannot work and concentrate on something and talk at the same time. But that's what the Amazon posting showed. They did theirs in gold. I'm going to do mine in this really pretty royal purple. And I have it sitting, I have my molds sitting on this marble slab that I had originally purchased for polymer clay, and I still use it for that. But it's a nice flat surface, and it's going to be something that's really going to work well, I think, for these molds, just to keep them all flat and level. All right, so this is probably going to be a tedious process. I'm not going to have you sit here and watch me fill up all these molds. That would be a yawn fest. So once I get these all done, I will come back and show you what I have. And then I think I'm going to put it, well, maybe I won't. I was going to say I was going to put it in my resin curing machine, but I know my marble slab is obviously not going to fit in there. And I don't know that I want these just sitting there, because they may not come out as nice and flat as I would like for them to, because the molds themselves are very shallow, but they're extremely detailed. So I don't want to overfill them too much, but I want to make sure there's enough resin to get down into those details. So I am going to do a lot of tapping and a lot of playing around to make sure that those details get filled in. All right, so now that you know what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to go off camera, fill them up, show you what the end product looks like after they're all filled, and then leave them to sit, and then we'll uncover them at the same time that we uncover the coasters that I made. So stay tuned. So as promised, here are the molds all filled up. There is a little spillage over, so I know there's going to have to be some cleaning up to be done after the fact. I've been doing my best to kind of mitigate some of that. We're going to go let them cure, and we'll take them out once they're all done, and we'll discuss what we think of them after everything is said and done. So more to come. See you in a bit. It'll be a second for you, but probably about 24 hours for me. So stay tuned. Hey, we're back, and here is everything cured. It's been just over 24 hours, so I'm sure that the resin is still a little bendy, but I thought I'd take it out of the mold so we could all see it together and check out how well these did. So these are the coasters I was telling you guys about, the ones that I did with the new molds that I was explaining earlier in the video. There was a little bit of overpouring on my part, so some of these are going to have to be probably cleaned up a little bit. But here, let me take one out of the mold so you can see. Like right here, I'm going to have to trim that off. But These are the new molds that I got. And look how nice and deep those are. Look how nice and pretty. Wow, I like that. I love how these turned out. So this is a butterfly sticker, decal, whatever you want to call it, that I had in a separate purchase. And then I made these cute little bugs and mushrooms with a UV resin mold kit that I bought that has gnomes and such in it. And these are just dried plants. Then, of course, some glitter in the background to give them a little interest. So we'll take these all out so you guys can see them. A lot of over porridge on this one, but it's okay. That all cleans up, especially along the side here. That'll have to be trimmed down, but I can do that easily enough with my Dremel. But there's another one, similar idea. My fear is that I overfilled these too much, so they may not fit in my little coaster holder, but we will see. Got a nice little lip on this one all the way around. They're all similar, they just are slightly different, but similar enough to be a set. But again, nice and thick those coasters are. So pretty. And here's the last one. I did have a little air bubble back here, but such is life. Everything can't be perfect. So these are the resin coasters, and they will have to be cleaned up, and there was a huge air bubble in that one, and I knew about that. That wasn't a surprise, so I tried to fill it in as best I could. And then here is the coaster holder. We'll see how easy this comes out. Should be fairly easy once I get the rubber, or the silicone pulled back rather. They have all sorts of ideas for other coasters and things that we could make, so you'll have to stay tuned. I'll be getting ready to do those very soon. But I poured these with a little bit of the same idea as the coasters, so I put a little bit of colored micro resin in there to give it a little dimension. But there's the coaster holder. Now I'll try to find one that's not too, try to find some of these that don't have too much over pour. That one's going to be a little difficult to get in there, so I'll have to keep that one out for the time being. Yeah, but even though I had a little bit of over porridge, not to sound like the word porridge, they all fit in there really nicely. So even though some of them were a little bit too high and poured over, I have plenty of room for all of them. So they turned out really cute. So that's the set that I got finished there. All right. And now for the reason that we're here, which is the little tarot cards that we did. All right, so here they are in all their purple beauty. Let me bring it down a little closer. Alrighty, so let's take these little guys out. I'm going to take out one first that's kind of flat and a little bit on the nice side to see how they turned out. Alright, we do have some air bubbles, but that's how it turned out. Let me see if I can get this. So there's the detail in it. And that diamond sits up quite a ways. So I'll have to take a look at that and see if that's how that's supposed to be, because my fear is it'll pop right out, but it doesn't seem to want to. And I would love to, in the future, coat these with a little bit of mica powder or something to have these details stand out. I may still do that with some mica, but I'm afraid if I do it, it'll just rub off. So I'll have to give that some thought and see what we want to do. there's the next one. And there's the little crystal. So they turned out really good. There's that one. You can see that detail in there. So I definitely like to, these lights are of course not the best. These two kind of got stuck together, so we'll just tear those apart. And the resin is still soft and flexible, so I could literally, just to show you, go in here with a pair of scissors and just trim that right off. And it would not be a problem. It's not a problem at all. Would not, it isn't a problem. Do have some bubble gaps, so I'm not overjoyed about that, but that's my fault, not the resin mold's fault. But there you go. There's a couple of them. So we definitely know what to do with these now. They came right out of the mold without any problem whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and take these all out, and I'll show them to you once they're all demolded. We have a little ASMR sound going on here. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Hopefully you can listen. All right, let me get these molds out of the way. Get them covered up so they don't get any dust in them. Oh, I lost a bead. Either we lost one or I never put one in there. So the first casualty. So here's all of them. You lay them all out. All right, so these are definitely cute as a pendant or as a, whoops, sorry about that, as a pendant or as a little keychain or something. Very cute. I think maybe I will even try it right now while I've got you guys on camera. Let me see if I can find. All right, I've got a little yellow pigment here. This is yellow. Thought it was a dandelion, but it's Aurelian or something. I can never say the name correctly. Take a little bit of this on here. I'm going to test it out on the one where we didn't have a diamond in it. Here it is. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's so much better. Like I said, my only concern is that because there's nothing to adhere it to it, that it would just rub off, because I'm already rubbing it off with my finger as fast as I rub it on. But you can kind of see the details there a little bit better. Probably not one of the best ones to show you. There is a sun in here somewhere that I saw a little bit ago. Right here. Imagine how pretty that would look in relief. So it's definitely an interesting concept here. I like the way the mold was designed. I think the molds worked perfectly. I don't think that there was any issue with the molds themselves. I give them a really good rating. I'd say if I had to do it out of 4 out of 5, I would say these were definitely a 4. I love the design of them. I love how detailed they are. And really, for as shallow as they are, they didn't really turn out wonky or anything. I was really kind of expecting them to not be flat because the molds don't look flat. But surprisingly, they turned out really flat and they're very nice. So I definitely give them a high rating. I think what I will try to do is to see if I can get these little crystals out and do them again and color in the mold, maybe with some mica powders, and go from there, because the mica powder would actually have to go into the recesses in this mold. So I might actually put the mica powder just on the outside. So what I'm thinking I would do next time is take a little bit of the powder and just put it around the outside of the mold like this. That way it gets into, or it gets on the surface, but it doesn't go into the recesses. So those will be a relief. And if you did this, imagine doing it with like a black resin in the background. Those would be really sharp. So definitely some playing around I'm going to do with these molds because I think they're really, really super cute. So I think if I play around with this and try it a different way, I'll show you guys the end result on Instagram if you follow me there. I'm under SMB Jewelry Designs. My links are all down in my description. So I hope you enjoyed this. I think it was a really, really cool concept. It was a mold I'd never worked with before, an idea that I had never seen before, and I really enjoyed it. So leave me a like, subscribe if you're so inclined. It really helps me out. And I will look for you all in the next video. Have a safe, happy, healthy evening or day wherever you are. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.